Guys, welcome back to the Field Gamers channel, and in today's video I'm going to show you guys how to build a barn so that you guys can have a place to put your new horses and whatever livestock that you have, but mainly the horses since that's what came out in the most recent update. And we are going to just start by building the basic structure of the barn. What I will be using is the basic red clay block, which is new to with the new update with the horses and everything else that came with it, but I just kind of want to make a basic red barn. And later you can go through, you can add different colors, you can change the colors, but for now let's just go ahead and start with the basic structure, and I'm just going to go ahead and use red. So we're going to go ahead and put a block down here, skip 4, and put another block, and this is going to be our entrance. So we can go ahead and actually build the entrance, build each of those 4 blocks up, actually make it 5 blocks up, and then connect the blocks like this. So there is your entrance. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take from the bottom and you're going to make this 8 wide. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to do the same thing to the other side. So I'll go ahead and do that real quick. And this is what you should have so far. So this will be the basic dimensions for the front of the barn. And then what we're going to do is we're going to build each of those sides back. So we're going to build the sides back 25 blocks. So I'm not going to count out loud. But starting with this is block number 1, then 2, and then make it 25 total. So I'll go ahead and do that real quick. 5, 6. And I'll go ahead and repeat that on the other side real quick. And once we have that, we can basically, I'll go ahead and just fill this in because it's what we're going to have to do anyway. So once you have those dimensions down, you can go ahead and fill the rest in accordingly. So I'll go ahead and do that real quick for you guys. And then once we've done that, we'll have the basic outline of the barn. And then we can add the insides later, but we'll go ahead and just finish the outside right now. Alright, there we go. So there's the shape of our barn, pretty basic shape. Now we're going to go ahead and move over to the side, and most barns have that little overhang on the side, and this is the same structure that I used for the Walking Dead barn that I did, and one of the Let's Play barns that I did in the Chaoscraft server a while back. But right on this corner, the front left corner, we're going to go ahead and skip 8 blocks to the left. So go ahead and count 8 blocks out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Skip those 8, and then create a block right there. And then what we're going to do is from this block, we're going to skip 5 blocks back, put another block, and we're going to keep repeating this pattern right here. Skip 5 more, and we're going to keep doing that until we have the last, we should have 5 pillar blocks, and these are going to be the pillars that hold up the side of the building. So we'll go ahead and do it again. And then one more time. And it should line up evenly with the back of our barn. And if it doesn't, then you've messed up a dimension somewhere. So now this is what we should have so far. The basic barn right here, the basic shape, the rectangular shape, and then 5 dots of red clay blocks on the left. What we can go ahead and do, if you want, you can go ahead and build these up 6 blocks for now. Build each one of these up 6 blocks. And then we can go ahead and start by building up the actual barn next. Almost done. And if I'm going too fast for you guys, feel free to pause, rewind, do whatever you got to do to make sure that you're not missing anything, because you know, obviously you might not be able to build and watch at the same time. It might be a little difficult on your computer unless you have 2 computers for some reason. But yeah, I'll obviously go ahead and pause if you need to, whenever you need to. But on the side right here, we're going to go ahead and build the corners up 8 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go ahead and do that to the other side as well. And right now, obviously, everything is looking really red. So later, once we have the basic structure done, we can go back through and change some of the stuff around, change it to wood, or you change other materials around to other, you know, maybe we can add some white or make the doorway, make a border of white, something like that. But we can do that at the end. So don't think that, oh, okay, this is starting to look a little too plain, because we'll add the details in later. I always like to build the basic structure first. It's really easy. Once you have the basic structure, then it's a lot simpler to see what you have and then design based on what you have. So once you have this 8 blocks tall, now what we're going to do is we're going to go up. So the next one's going to be 9 blocks tall. And I'm not going to do this right now because it might be too long on video. So I'll actually pause it in a minute and do that off camera. So this one's going to be 9 blocks, and the next one's going to be 10 blocks tall, then 11, then 12. So these are all going to be filled in from the top all the way to the bottom, but I'm going to do that off camera. So this one, we're at 12 right now. And then the next 2 columns are going to be 13. So these 2 columns are going to be 13. I'll go ahead and repeat that real quick. So this is 8 tall, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then 2 columns that are going to be 13. We're going to go over 2 more columns that are going to be 14, and then 2 more columns that are going to be 15. And then we're going to go ahead and repeat that to the other side, and I'll go ahead and do that on camera just so you can get a good idea what the border of this is going to look like. And then I'll fill the rest of that in a second as soon as I get all this done. There we go. So that's what the basic shape of the front is. So it's kind of got that barn. It kind of goes up to a peak, but it doesn't stay at a 45-degree angle. It kind of curves in a little bit. And if you ever see a barn on YouTube or if you go to Google and you search barns, it's kind of the basic shape of how the roofs work when you're making a barn. So I'll go ahead and do the same thing with the other side, and then I'll fill it all in. And what you're also going to do is the entire sides. So I'll actually go ahead and do this outline too for you so you can kind of get a visual before I fill it all in. You're going to fill everything in on the sides so that they are 8 blocks tall along with the corner blocks. Oh, oops, I was right. Okay, so and then you're going to do that again on the other side and then repeat that same shape on this side as well. So I'll go ahead and quickly do that off camera so that I don't spend too much time filling it in, and then we'll go ahead and move on to the roof next. So once you have everything filled in, this is what it should look like. It kind of looks like a Happy Meal you might get at McDonald's or something. But there it is. That's all filled in and ready to go. Now what we can do is go ahead and build the sides that connect to these pillars over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and here's our corner piece from the roof. And we're going to go ahead and add 2 blocks like this. Then we're going to go ahead and add 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the bottom of these 2. And then once we've done that, we're going to take a half slab of any material. I'm just going to use an oak material just because it's kind of a neutral wood color. And we're just going to add it to the bottom of those blocks. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So I'll go ahead and do that really quick. Oh. 2, 3, 4. And then we'll go ahead and add a half slab to these as well. There we go. And actually, we'll go ahead and do the same thing and link these together like this. So take the half slabs and connect the pillars from the top of the block all the way across until all of them are connected like this. Alright, so that is what we have so far. Looks very empty and plain, but we're getting there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start with the roof. And to do the roof, I like to use a dark wood spruce color. Again, you're free to use whatever material you want. You didn't have to use this red color. You can use any color you want. You can experiment. For some reason, if you can't get all the clay and you want to use a wool, that's fine as well. So don't spend all the time getting a material you don't have if you're in survival mode. Don't make your life harder than it has to be. Find a material that works good. You can also use wood to make a barn. Most barns are actually made of wood. The only reason I'm using red is because it looks like a painted red barn. I kind of like that look. So again, any material is fine, but I'm going to go ahead and use the dark spruce wood. And I would actually recommend the dark spruce wood. I think it looks really good for roofs when you're doing barns. So we'll go ahead and start with the half slab. We're going to add 2 half slabs like this. And then we're going to take 2 full blocks, add them like this. We're just going to repeat that again. And if you don't want to have full blocks, you can just add 2 half slabs on top of each other. Then we're going to go and put another half slab right here. And then actually I need some stairs. You're going to get spruce wood stairs. So yeah, whatever material you are using for your roof, it's going to have to be a material that uses half slabs and stair pieces. That's the only way this is going to flow, because we are using half slabs and stairs to make this roof. So if you don't want to use this type of wood, you can use other types of wood. You can use maybe like quart blocks or sandstone, but it has to be a material that has half slabs and stair pieces that go with it. Otherwise it won't work. And then, so basically you have that half slab set right here. You're going to put a stair block right there, and then you're just going to start putting stair blocks along these paths until you reach that last single block right here. Then when you get to the first 2 block flat plane, what you're going to do is you're going to do the same thing we did down there: half slab, full block, half slab, full block, and then you're going to finish the top with 2 half slabs. Then we can just go ahead and repeat that down here. So repeat that on the other side. Get your stair pieces. And then we'll also repeat it to the other side as well. And this side, since it doesn't have that extension, it's just going to end right here. And you can go ahead and add the stair blocks all the way across, because this is going to be the roof that travels all the way across this right here. So keep going all the way across until you reach the very back of the barn. And essentially what we're going to do is we're actually going to bring these across like this. We're just going to go all the way across. I'll do that off camera because that might take a little bit too. And I don't want to spend too much time on camera building repetitive things, because I'm sure you don't want to watch me do that. It's not a very exciting thing to watch. But you get the idea, so I'll go ahead and finish the outline so you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like once the outline is complete. And then there you go. And actually we'll go ahead and finish this off too. Might as well. Just so you guys all are on the same page. And then once you finish, there you go. And again, you can also go ahead and bring this all the way across as well. So for all of this whole entire outline, for all of it here, actually I'll just wait, I'll finish this up and then I'll say what I was going to say. So yeah, okay, so for each of these blocks, you're going to extend them all the way back. So you're going to extend all these back, you're going to extend all these back, you know, so on and so forth. You're just going to keep extending them all the way back, all the way across, until they reach the corresponding blocks on the other side. And then once you've done that, you'll have a completed roof, and you won't have this McDonald's looking Happy Meal box that looks like it's been opened by a child or something. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. I'll do that off camera, and then we'll be set with the roof, and it'll be that easy. So go ahead and do that yourself. I'll go ahead and do that off camera myself, and then we can move on to the next part. Alright, so hopefully you've already gotten the roof completed. It's already starting to look pretty good here. I've already got everything filled in the way it needs to be. Obviously it's going to be pretty dark inside, so what I already did is put a bunch of torches down everywhere just to kind of add a little bit of light. Also, if you need to just break a hole or two in the roof while you're building, that also can pour a little bit of light in so that you can actually have light inside the barn while we do this next part. So here is the inside of the barn. Looks pretty plain. And what we're going to do first is we are going to, actually before we do the inside of the barn, let's go ahead and add the doors. Seems to be a pretty necessary part. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a block, and you can make the doors whatever color. I'm going to use the dark, let's see what actually color this is. This is black stained clay, so that's what I'm using. And I'm going to go ahead and build in a row or a column on the outside of the doorway. Then I'm going to go diagonally and add another row, 4 blocks tall. And then this will be our door. And this basically kind of gives the impression that the door was left open. Obviously you can't have giant doors that open in this game, so it'll kind of be the illusion that these doors will always be open. You can also use like a white color, just kind of mess around, experiment with it. I'm actually not so sure I like that color yet, but I can always change it later. But for now, that's the structure of how the door is going to be made. So now once we're inside, we are going to come over here, and we're going to build 5 blocks off of the ground. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you're going to go ahead and choose a material. I'm going to go ahead and use a birch wood color for now. I think that'll look pretty good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend it 4 blocks from the side, and we're just going to go ahead and build that across, all the way across like this. So I'll go ahead and do that really quick. And we'll do the same thing on both sides, and then we'll also do the same thing as soon as we get to the back wall as well. So let's go ahead and build this all the way across. And this is what it should look like once you've gotten that side done. And we'll also, like I said, we'll do the same thing for the back wall. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. And then we'll go ahead and build that across as well. And I'm not sure if birch wood is the material I want to use, but for now I'm just going to go ahead and use the birch wood. I might change it later, but let's go ahead and see. Does it look good? Not really sure, but yeah, I don't know. For now we'll just keep it like that, and we'll go ahead and do the same thing with the side so that it looks symmetrical all the way around. And this is going to be just like an upper level where storage, you know, most barns have an upper level, so you can have a place to store your tools, your items, a variety of different functions, but mostly it's a storage area for you to keep your things. And then the lower level is where the animals are. Obviously you can't put animals up here because it'd be really awkward and inconvenient to get animals upstairs. So the animals are obviously going to be on the main level, and then the storage will be for the top level. So once you've done that, it should look like this. Looks pretty good. Again, you can change the materials. I think I might actually end up going back and changing it later, but for now we'll go ahead and keep it like this. And now we can go ahead and build these stalls. So we'll go ahead and start with this side, and we're going to use, let's see, what color should we use? Let's go ahead, for now let's just go ahead and use we'll use this color. Actually no, let's go ahead and use a neutral color. So we'll just use the oak wood planks for now. And we're going to go ahead and right below this first one right here, we're going to build 2 blocks. So right below this edge of the roof, or the top level, we're going to add these 2 blocks right here. And then we're going to add another 2. And then we're going to skip 2 and add another 2. And then once you've gotten, so we have 2 rows, skip 2, and then 1 right here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and build that back right here. And this will be one of our stalls. We'll go ahead and repeat this pattern. So for each room, it's going to be 2 blocks, skip 2, 1 block, and then we'll have a row that ends for the wall. So on the inside, looking from the inside in, it will be 3 by 5 blocks in dimensions, in 2 dimensions. So we'll go ahead and do that, repeat it all the way across. And then we'll do the same thing with both sides. And then later we can actually put our horses in here. So that looks good for now. I'll go ahead and put a torch in here so it doesn't spawn bats. And then you can organize the torches later. Obviously you don't want torches just random everywhere. It kind of looks kind of unprofessional, unorganized. Doesn't look that great. For now I just have them in here to provide light so I can build. But in a little bit we can actually place them more conveniently so they actually look good with the building. So hopefully you're following along. Hopefully it looks just like this. And when we're done, we'll actually have, I think, 8 total stalls. So let's go ahead and finish this right here. And it should be done. There we go. Now we've got that, I think the birch wood up here looks fine. I actually don't mind it. But if you want to use maybe an oak wood up here to match the oak wood down here, or birch wood down here to match the birch wood up here, if you just want to use corresponding colors, that might work better. But we'll go ahead and keep it this way for now. But now we can go ahead and take our fence gates. We can go ahead and add the fence gates in. That's how the animals are kept in, and that's how you can get to the animals, through the fence gates. So we'll go ahead and add those fence gates to each side. Alright, And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these actual fence posts and I'm going to add them in the sides like this. So 4 blocks, so it should line up against the walls that surround the horses and or other livestock. This doesn't have to just be for horses. This can be for any purpose that a barn would be used for. Any type of animal could be held in here. If you want to make it solely a horse barn, so only horses are in here, you could have a stable for each horse that you have. It's already looking kind of like a horse stable. As soon as you put these fence posts in here like this, it starts to look more and more like a fence, or a fence. It starts to look more and more like a horse stable, at least for Minecraft purposes it does. Maybe not in real life purposes, but I think it looks pretty good. And then if you want to, you can keep it like this. So if you like it the way it is like this, honestly, I think it looks pretty good. But if you want to add a little bit more, make it look like it's more closed off for the horses, you can fill in these extra spaces with fence posts. If you think that that looks too cluttered, you don't have to do this. I'll just go ahead and do it so you can see what it looks like. And then you guys can make up your mind on whether or not you want to add these extra fence posts in. But it kind of makes it look like the horse is a little bit more enclosed. So it looks like he can't get out. Also, it just adds a little bit more detail. But sometimes it can also, adding too many materials, adding too much can make it look too cluttered. So I'll let you guys decide whether or not you want to add these in or not. Oops, forgot these over here. And that is what we have so far. Okay. So now, once we've gotten that, that is basically it for the inside, structure-wise. If you want, you can go ahead and add the horses in. I'll go ahead and add a horse in there. A few of them, I guess. Might as well see what they look like in there. Go ahead and add a horse there. Ooh, a red one. I've not seen a red one before. Add a few here. I would only add 1 horse per stall. You don't want to put, horses are kind of big, and these aren't the biggest spaces for horses, so you don't want to clutter them in. If you put more than 1 in these areas, then they might be oh, a baby horse. They might be too trapped, might have not much space. So there we go. We got horses in each stall. I think it looks pretty good so far. Definitely is coming along really well. And then all we have to do is add some final details. Previously, what I used to do is I used to add sand blocks all over the place to kind of look like hay bales. But we actually have hay bales now in the new texture pack, or not the new texture pack, in the new update. And these are actually for the horses. And so if you want to, you can kind of just add hay bales, just kind of all over the place. In no particular order, just kind of make it look like it's kind of random. So you kind of want this to look somewhat unorganized, just to kind of make it look like there's hay bales piled up all over the place. So you can add hay bales on the sides. You can add them all over here. And then you can add them up here as well. I'll go ahead and add a few more down here just to kind of show you what it looks like when you have a bunch of hay bales laying around. Okay, and we'll just leave it at that for now. And then you can go ahead and add some up here as well. And I actually haven't played around with other texture packs yet, so it might actually look better in another texture pack. But in this texture pack, it kind of looks like a funky hay bale. I don't know, maybe other texture packs might have a better way of making their hay bales look. But for now, we'll just kind of keep it plain and simple like this. Okay. And then as soon as I get done building all these hay bales in here, we can do something with the floor. So go ahead and add a few more in. We're almost done here. Again, just kind of make it random. No reason to keep these in order. Now, if you're the kind of OCD person that needs things to look a certain way, you can organize them, make them symmetrical. I may have added too many of these, but it does make it kind of look a little cluttered. But barns usually do have a lot in them. They're usually not very empty. So depending on how you want your barn to look, you can keep it empty. You don't have to put any hay bales at all. If you think that this looks way too cluttered, leave the hay bales out. There's no need to add hay bales if you don't want them. It's just kind of another way to make it look, another idea anyway. So now we have basically the inside done. All we need to do is add a side door right here, and I actually don't have the dimensions yet, so I'll go ahead and get back to that in a second. But we can go ahead and add windows on the outside. And for the windows, we're going to come up to the top, and here's the center right here. We're going to go down, not these two, but these two right here. And we're going to, so starting right here at this corner, we're going to move down 3 blocks and take one out. So we started here, came down here, came down here. Right at this corner piece, we're going to skip 2 blocks down, take a block out. And then from here, we can go ahead and take another block out like this, make another square, do the same thing to the other side. So here's this corner, come down 2, take out these, and we can add a window. We can do that to the same to the other side. You can make these windows bigger if you'd like, but I'm just going to keep them 2 by 2 for now. They might look better if you added them a little bigger. Maybe if you did a 3 by 3 window instead, that might look good. At this point, we've already got the structure of the barn done, so everything from this point on is up to you. You can add your own details, you can add more windows, you can add more colors. If you don't like how this is all plain red, it is pretty plain red, so you can add more colors, you can add textures to it, outlines, maybe do like a white outline for the door, maybe a white outline for the windows, but I'll go ahead and let you guys play around with that. I've done the structural part for you, I've done basically the hard part, and now add some design, and maybe I think maybe a white border around the windows might look good. Maybe a trapdoor for like some shutters might look good, stuff like that. And then let's go ahead, I'll come back in a second. I'm going to go ahead and check the dimensions for the side door, and then we can see if we can do anything for the floor as well. Alright, so let's go ahead and add a side door in on this side of the building. We're going to go ahead, now that I have the dimensions, we're going to go to the front side of the side right here. And just starting right here with this block, we're going to go ahead and count 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's kind of getting dark to see. After the 11th block, so actually on the 12th block, we're going to take one out. And we're just going to go ahead and clear that out 3 blocks past 11. So 11 blocks all the way here. This is the 11th block from the front. Then we're going to skip 3 and destroy, get rid of these 3, and we're going to go ahead and create an entryway right here that's 3 by 3. And it should be perfectly centered. If you want to check, it should be 11 blocks that way as well. So now that you have that, you can go ahead and get rid of these and add in this. And now that you have that, what we're going to do is we're going to take these half slabs, we're going to use oak wood half slabs, and we're going to go ahead and extend these 3 blocks out right below the area that we just created these blocks. And actually, instead of using these blocks, let's go ahead and get rid of these blocks and use stair pieces instead. So let me go ahead and get a stair piece out for this. There we go. And that'll be, so for when if you're in here, you can come outside, and this will be another way to exit the building from the upper level. So now that we have this, we're going to go ahead and take our half slab and extend it both directions 3 blocks. And these are extending 3 out as well, so outward 3 and sideways 3. So now you should have a 3 by 9 surface right outside of this doorway that we just created with these, what do you call them, stair pieces. And then we can just go ahead and add these pillars to make it look like it's actually being held up and not just floating there. And there we go. And now we're going to obviously need a way to get up, so we can add another pillar right here. And we can add a ladder. So now you have a way of getting up from the outside. So from this side of the building, you can come up here and enter the top part of here, of the barn. And we'll also need a way to get in from the inside right here. So what we'll go ahead and do is right here, we'll skip 3. And on the 4th block, we'll just go ahead and add a pillar down. And you can use the same colored block if you want. I'm just going to use a different colored block for now, but that's up to you, whatever colors you want to use. And there we go. And that's so now that when we're down here, we can climb up this ladder and have a way to get up here to our storage. And then when you're up here, you can organize a way to keep your stuff stored. So if you want to have, if you're in survival mode and you want to have a bunch of your things stored up here, your tools, your weapons, or anything that's farm related, since this is a barn, so maybe not your weapons, but maybe you want to keep your tools and your shovels and everything like that. You can have chests organized up here, so wherever you want to put them, you can strategically place chests alongside the upper area up here. Pretty much wherever you want, that's up to you, just so you can store your tools that you have in the game. So yeah, if you have 5 diamond shovels and you want to keep a hold of them for safekeeping, because they're obviously not very easy to obtain since diamond is rare, you can keep them in your storage up here and not have to worry about losing them. And hopefully you'll have everything well lit so that creepers and monsters don't spawn in here, so that a creeper doesn't blow up and kill your horses or blow up your storage or whatever it is you have. So you can see I already rearranged the torches here, and I also added this flooring in here. I changed it to sand. I think it looks a little better. And then I kept this grass just so that the horses can eat the grass. Also, what you can do is you can take your hay bales and maybe add a hay bale or two in each of the pens for the horses. Don't know where this horse went, but we'll go ahead and put those hay bales in there. And for now, I'm just going to put them in the same place, keep it kind of the same in each one, so it'll be symmetrical on both sides. And then that way they have just a little bit of food. And then what you can also do, you can add a little trough of water if you want for the horses. So if you wanted to, let's go ahead and get a water bucket out real quick. And if you want to just take 2 out on the side, add water in there for the horses. And you can do that for each of the horses. So let's go ahead and do that. So in the area where there's 2 blocks open next to the hay bale, I think that looks really good if you put the water supply in there. So let me go ahead and do that. I'll add a water supply for each of the horses so they can get a drink. And I'm actually not 100% sure whether or not the horses actually drink water in this game, but it'll be for looks if it's not for actual usage. So we'll go ahead and add it on this side too. And that way these horses are always fed and well hydrated. And this will be the last one, even though there's not a horse in here. Don't know where he went. Could have swore I put one in there. But okay, so yeah, there we go. And then what I did on the outside is I kind of made it blend in with the grass by adding little speckles of sand so it kind of blends in and it doesn't just end suddenly. So thought that kind of looked cool. Usually in the inside of a barn you don't have just grass on the inside of a barn floor. Usually it's like a hay maybe spread across the floor. Sometimes it's just plain dirt. So if you just want to make a dirt floor, you could do that. But you're going to have to do something at the border right here. Otherwise, the grass will just grow its way in, and then it won't be a dirt floor anymore. So if you do want to make all this dirt, just to kind of make it look like it's a barn, like a dirt floored barn, then at the front right here, you're going to have to create some sort of border to keep the grass from growing its way in. Otherwise, the grass will just grow. And eventually the whole area in here will be grass again, and then you'll have wasted all your time with that. So that is all I have for you. Let's go ahead and turn it to daytime. And this is the completed barn. If you want to go ahead and add some more details to the barn, add some colors, like I said, I could repeat myself over and over again, but I'm not going to. But yes, everything else is up to you. So thank you guys again for watching this. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, this Let's Build tutorial. I definitely like doing these. They take a little bit more time to make, but I think they're a little bit more effective. Now you can actually watch my videos and actually accomplish something by the end of each of these tutorial videos. But I'll keep doing my design videos as well. I think I'm going to do like an Oculate house design video or something like that next. I think that might be kind of cool. Since I did do my dog houses, I thought those were really cool. But again, just keep your ideas flowing in the description below. Let me know if you have any ideas for some builds you want me to do. not only design videos, but give me your ideas for step-by-step tutorial walkthroughs that you want me to do, like this barn that I did. I just did a previously, before this barn, I did a walkthrough of a pool where I showed you guys how to build a really cool pool step by step, and I did it basically the same way as I did this one. So I really do like doing it in this format, and I want your guys' feedback, and I want to know what kind of things you want me to help you guys build for future references. So again, just let me know what you guys have in mind, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I definitely would like to see you guys subscribe to me, and I'll see you guys in my next video. See you guys later.